We're back. Sunday. You know what that means. It means we got another episode here at Mixtapes and Mistakes. We're doing another personal mixtape here for my cousin, Jada Vance. Her birthday was yesterday, so I'm doing this today. Jada's probably the cousin. She's my. Okay, it's not fair to say she's my coolest cousin because that's not fair. I have a lot of cool cousins. Um, it's Jada's probably the cousin that I have related to the most. Because we like a lot of the same stuff. Because we're both big wrestling fans. We're both we like a lot of movies and drama stuff like that. We both question a lot of stuff, like some doesn't look right. We're like, so it was kind of easy to put together this playlist or this mixtape, except for the fact that, like a lot of people that I'm trying to do these mixtapes for, see, so if you, what I usually do, I got my little method where I go look at people's Facebooks. I'm like, what do they like? And what generally has started to happen is I'll have friends of mine who won't have a lot of stuff that they like musically on a playlist. You put like what movies or TV shows you like. Music, I guess, is harder to quantify for a lot of people because most people aren't in a box. Most people aren't like, I just like this type of music. So I've begun to look at it as kind of a way to where it's a little bit of it's a challenge because I get to look at stuff that I know they like, and then try to find stuff that either fits that aesthetic, or is not so far out of bounds from what they like that it's not, crazy, and kind of describes, the person that we're the subject of the mixtape. That's kind of the general way I do it. So for my cousin, and there are a lot of songs. There's two songs on here that I'm not going to talk about because they're kind of the mystery songs. I have like a mystery song on every mixtape. It's just like it's a song that I'm pretty sure that they haven't heard that fits them. So there's two songs in the middle of the playlist that I put in there that I'm not going to talk about. I will talk about the Maxwell song Ascension for a second. I just did a video about where Maxwell covered This Woman's Work by Kate Bush. And Ascension's another one in his wheelhouse where it's soaring vocals and super emotional. But it's one of those songs where it feels like that newer Maxwell work feels like Maxwell being more comfortable with himself and trying to and really realizing he's got a sound, he's gonna run with that sound, and it's a lot easier for him to do what he's doing. Ascension's back in like the early Maxwell part of the catalog, where he's trying to show people that, or trying to showcase his talent, and I think Ascension is one of the two or three best songs from that era. And so that's why that's on here. I wish I could have found the actual movie cut for this song, because I think it's the Replacements. It's Keanu Reeves' movie, and one of the hooks, or one of the things that reoccurs in this movie, is this whole Notorious B.I.G. thing that they do through the whole movie. Because there's this whole, I love it when you call me Big Papa, and it's all throughout that movie. Like, it's this hook that just grew out the movie. And I was thinking about that today when I was putting this, the finishing touches on this list. I was like, man, I wish I had the movie cut for the video for that. But the great thing about that song is, other than the fact that it's Biggie, the little piano interlude is kind of iconic and unmistakable. And it's one of the few times, and when I finally get to it way later on in the series, so I think I'm gonna have to split it. So I'm doing this history of hip hop series, and right now I'm finishing up Sugar Hill Gang. And what I had to figure out is there's a golden age of hip hop that pretty much kind of ends. I feel like around 90. The legitimate golden age of hip hop ends about 91, with really the beginning of KRS One's like really good 3 or 4 records, and then there's this, but then I feel like he falls into this middle category that's 91 to like 95, where it's like him, PM Dawn, Tribe Called Quest. You could throw Arrested Development in there, even though they're not a rap group. There's this whole kind of edutainment, like consciousness era of hip hop and R&B that worked for about like 3 years, and then Gangsta showed up, and to pull the Big Papa ship back to shore. Big Papa's almost one of the few party rap songs in gangster rap. There's very few of them. Now, the other probably notable one that I didn't put on this list is California Love. And it's not that it's a party song so much as anytime if you were to break it out at a few parties, people would get hyped. Just because that the riff on that song is infectious. But that's the 3 years of rap to me. But that's a whole other it's a conversation for another time. There's 2 Tupac songs on this list. I had to put Until the End of Time in here because I actually I've not talked about how I feel about sampling, and I have to, when I come to sampling in the history of hip hop, I have to talk about it. I still haven't figured it out, but I like the Mr. sample on Until the End of Time. I actually like the way that worked out, because a lot of times you'll hear sampling in hip hop, and it's like the 2 songs are totally dissimilar. Like it doesn't work, because you're like, oh, why is that song the backbeat for that lyric? Really? And that's kind of where I felt about a lot of samples. This Broken Wing sample, this Mr. sample on Until the End of Time, actually really works for what they're trying to do. So I put that on there. And I really think it works overall because it just fits. When you hear the overall, what they do with the totality of the song, it works. I'm going to close by talking about Scenario from Tribe Called Quest, even though it isn't the last song on this list. And I think Scenario, in a way you don't expect, actually kind of really describes my cousin. So Scenario as a song lyrically it's a really complex song that touches on a lot of social issues and personal issues throughout the song. But at the end, it has it's Busta Rhymes with this lyrical canon that just blows the whole song away. And in a lot of research on that song, people talked about, and they're not wrong, that Busta outshines Tribe Called Quest on their best song. And I think that's another thing that I think really describes Jada, is that she's the best on her best days. And she has a lot of best days. She's always been kind of top notch, and she's always kind of, when you need somebody to be their best, she's at her best. So she's not somebody that's not going to come through for you. She's not somebody that's not going to be empathetic to your situation, and she's not somebody who's not going to root for you and be in your corner. She's all of those things, and that's why I think Scenario fits her, is because she is that super complex person that just kind of comes in and she's like, I'm gonna do it, and she does it. She does what she is that kind of savior. Not savior is the wrong word. She's kind of She's the best tag team partner you can have. That's what I was saying. So that's this mixtape. Hopefully everybody enjoys the music. We're gonna do a couple of other uploads. We're putting stuff in the can now, so we can have like content going on. So I got some other stuff we're doing. Look out for the first installment of the history of hip hop. We start with the Sugar Hill Gang here soon, and after that, it's gonna be Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. So, thanks for listening. Like, share, and subscribe, and have a good Sunday.